Hello everybody, Mark here, also known as the Geo Scout. I think I'm going to take these off. But as you can tell by the title, it's running out of water, question mark, question mark. And obviously the topic is going to talk about the world's water resources. Now, many people are going to wonder why talk about the Earth's water resources. I mean, if you look at this globe right here, you look at everything here, that's the land, that's the water, and over 2/3 of the Earth's planet is water. Water dictates a lot of the climatic systems of this planet. However, there's one thing to consider. That is salt water. That's salt water, and you don't want to drink it. And most of the Earth's, a lot of the Earth's fresh water is locked up in places like Antarctica's ice sheets, Greenland's ice sheets, and for that, we only have a limited amount of water that we can work with on the Earth. This comes because there has been some concerns about Cape Town, South Africa running out of water. Now, to understand Cape Town and why there's a possibility, you have to think about the climate of South Africa. There you have a diverse set of climates in South Africa. You've got your subtropical climate, you've got your highland climates, you got your desert climates, you got your Mediterranean climate. Cape Town has a Mediterranean climate. It's not as wet as tropical areas. Mediterranean climates, you tend to have less rainfall and you tend to have long stretches where you don't get rain. And so that's something you have to consider. And then you have to consider how the government is handling the water resources there and how it's being handled there. Now, that's not the only place that has been considered at risk. Places, several places in Morocco, some places in India have been at risk. Situations like drought are something to consider. You have a drought and your water resources are at risk because of the drought. Now, this is one thing I see it as. With water resources, it's not only about how much water we have on the planet, but where we have it and how we use those water resources. You look at a place like Canada. You've got plenty of water because you've got so many lakes in Canada, so many rivers in Canada. In fact, pretty much most of Canada's population is near a body of water. Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, Vancouver. Water has dictated sort of the history of Canada in many ways. Plenty of water. But you contrast that with a place like Arizona in the United States of America, which, you know, the state of Arizona and then you have California. Those are two places you have to consider when it comes to water resources because Arizona is a very dry state. Most of its population lives in the greater Phoenix area and Tucson, which are both in the desert. These are all desert cities. And it's kind of ironic that the city of Phoenix, which is the capital of Arizona, has Phoenix inside the city limits. And there's Phoenix right there in the southwest United States of America. Phoenix being the capital of Arizona, strangely enough, has 1.5 million people. And you have to really consider Phoenix, Arizona being one of the largest cities in the United States of America, and it's in the desert. Or better yet, you have to consider Los Angeles, a city which is quite dry, goes through long stretches without rain. A lot of people forget that Los Angeles is next to a desert. Why? Because Los Angeles, well, actually, I got a globe here. Los Angeles is on the coast of California, is near the coast of California. And a lot of people find it easy to forget that California is a desert. Well, not most, well, California, not all of it's a desert. You mostly have the desert in the southern portion of the state. You have, obviously, you have the Mojave Desert out in eastern California and southeast California near Needles, near Barstow. But then you go out to Los Angeles, it gets a little more semi-arid, Mediterranean, but you have to take the greater Los Angeles area, and then you have to take California. California has about 39 million people. About 22 million people live in the greater Los Angeles area and the greater San Diego area in Southern California. Those are among the drier areas in California and among the drier areas in the United States of America. And you have to consider that you've got millions of people in a desert region. Where are you going to get that water? Well, you have to think about not only where you're getting that water, but how many people are competing for that water. And it's going to take a lot of understanding of geography in order to understand how you can be more innovative and how you can make the best use of your water resources for the population in that area. You have to take into account there are a lot of areas that get it happened. You got places in California that get a lot of snow. Sierra Nevadas. The greater Los Angeles area gets its water from there. And so if it doesn't snow enough in the mountains, that's not enough snow melt getting to the greater Los Angeles area, and then you've got a problem. And then you have to think about places in desert regions that get their water via desalination, where they, take seawater, which is salty, and desalinize it, take the salt out of it. And sorry, I got a headache. Take the water, desalinize it, get the salt out of it, and make it drinkable. And so makes you one, you have to understand your geography in order to understand it's not just about how much water, it's where it is and what people are doing to provide enough water for the people there and what you can do considering the environment that you live in. This is part one of this live stream. I will be coming up with a part two later.